Welcome to the show. We're going to jump in it. We're going to jump in it quick. Herschel Jr. Walker, the candidate running for senator in Georgia against Raphael Warnock, who is the incumbent senator for Georgia. Boy, you got yourself in some hot mess. You know, when you lie and you lie and you can't tell the truth, it always comes back to haunt you. You got this woman who now just outed you. And she got receipts. She got receipts with your signature on it. You talking about all these deadbeat black men out there, huh? Black man needs to be in a home with the children. But you out here banging 6 women, as Christian says, and running amok, sticking your little pee-pee in every hole that there is available. And you have the nerve to be on here and trying to put all black men on blast and doing the same damn dirt. You know God don't like ugly, right? You know, when you cast that stone, just know there's a boulder coming through your windows. And it came through. And the funny thing is, the Republicans, like Rick Scott, who says the Democrats, want to tear this country apart. I'm going to stand with Herschel all the way to the end. I'm going to give him the support he needs in Georgia. Man, you don't give a damn about Herschel Walker. You only care about that damn Republican Party. So here's the deal, Georgia folks. Y'all need to pay attention. Y'all need to know what's really going down. They're going to make him this token black Negro that they're going to push all their hatred agenda and all their BS policies through Georgia, hurting and crippling the citizens that are currently there. If you think gerrymandering wasn't a problem before, if you think you can't get water while you're waiting in line to vote in Georgia, man, y'all let this man become a senator and see all the other crazy nonsense that's going to go on. The man lied. The man doesn't take care of his kids. His own child, Christian, who's 19, says it. Put him on blast. I know y'all smarter than this down there, because y'all made it happen for Raphael Warnock last year, 2 years ago. And I know y'all not going to give it up. Let him give it up, because he's been doing good for you guys. And he represents you guys well in Congress. But Herschel, man, listen. I got some stuff that I'm going to show you guys, because he lied. So check out this MSNBC clip and listen to the report.
Explosive developments in politics over the weekend. The woman who says Georgia Senate nominee Herschel Walker paid for her to have an abortion back in 2009 now claims he urged her to terminate a second pregnancy 2 years later. Walker's former girlfriend tells the New York Times that in 2011, she went against the former college football star's wishes and had their now 10-year-old son. So another kid that he didn't recognize. She claims Walker has had little to do with the child since, aside from sending child support payments and occasional gifts facilitated through Walker's wife, Julie.
Do you know the woman that is making this allegation?
I have no idea, but it is a flat-out lie.
Have you figured out who it is?
Not at all.
Oh, yeah. I just found out that I have a kid with this young lady. Come on, man. Who you kidding? You doing that shucking and jiving, right? You shucking and jiving right now. You're like, oh. That's that CTE, motherfucker. That's all them hits to the head. Threatening your wife and family members with a gun. Talking about you gonna kill them. Man, this man is a problem. This man is definitely an issue.
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. And you know my favorite issue to talk about is father absence. Surprise, because it affected me. That's why I talk about it all the time, because it affected me. Family values, people. He has 4 kids, 4 different women, wasn't in the house raising one of them. He was out having sex with other women. Do you care about family values? I was silent, lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie. And so for the right to say I'm being suspicious for saying, hey, I'm done with the lies, when you all have been calling me saying, is this true about your dad? Gosh, we're not going to win Georgia, this candidate, all that's been you. You have no idea what I've been through in my life. You have no idea what me and my mom have survived. We could have ended this on day 1. We haven't. I haven't told any stories. I'm just saying, don't lie. Don't lie on my mom. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on the lives you've destroyed and act like you're some moral family man. Y'all should care about that, conservatives. And then for people on the left to act as though I'm responsible for all of the things that he has done. I've talked about father absence. I've talked all these issues because they've been close to me. Because they matter to me, because I went through it. That's why I've talked about it. So when you say, well, talk about your dad, but I'm saying this behavior is atrocious. Don't come for me. You don't have to like my politics. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. I'm just saying I'm done with the lies. We were told at the beginning of this, he was going to get ahead of his past, hold himself accountable, all of these different things, and that would have been fine. Go ahead. He didn't do any of that. Everything's been a lie. Everything's been downplayed. Everything's been cutting corners. The whole thing. And whose expense is that at? Me, my mom, as we're chased down by the media, we're terrorized, all these different things. People are questioning my authenticity. I'm done. Don't lie. Don't put this on me. This is a candidate issue, not a me issue. I wouldn't have spoken out if there weren't all these lies every day. And just 2 more things I have to address, and then I'm done with this buffoonery nutjob land. This is atrocious. People on the right are pulling up that I did a campaign event with my dad last year. They're saying, well, you supported him all last year and all this year. You look suspicious. No. You all have been calling me saying, why aren't you on the campaign trail with your dad? Why aren't you helping him out? This looks weird. You should go help him. And I've said to you calmly, I'm not getting involved. You don't know my family life. I did one event last year when we were told he was going to get ahead of his past and hold himself accountable. None of that happened. Everything's been a lie. So for me to tell you I'm not getting involved, and then you also be flooding my DMs and calling me saying, I didn't know all this about your dad, we're going to lose the Senate race. And then when I simply say, I'm done with the lies, you go, well, Christian looks suspicious. Excuse me? I haven't told one story about what I experienced with him. I'm just simply saying, don't lie. And then for certain political pundits to be pulling up old pictures I posted of my dad, thinking they can police and determine what my relationship with my dad was. If you want to pull stuff up, I'll pull stuff up. Don't try me. Don't test my authenticity. All of this has been a lie and you've known it. You've known. So don't you dare. And then to the left, who says, well, he did all this to your mom and you were still with them and, that's weird. You know nothing about my life. My parents went through a dirty divorce. I went through a lot as a child and you don't know anything. You don't know the ebbs and flows of our relationship. Nobody knows anything. So for everyone making these wild theories and whatever, that's crazy. This is about a bunch of lies. Again, If I had an issue with whatever, I could have ended this day. That's not my intention. My intention is don't lie about your life at the expense of me, my mom, and all of the people that you've affected throughout your life. You don't get to pretend you're some moral family guy. You don't get to pretend all these things. Talk policy, talk normal. Do not lie.
So I will be honest, because I've been over here in Paris, I have not fully gotten into what's going on and what conflict is. From what I can tell, his son, Christian Walker, who has become a personality on Instagram, kind of came out and said his dad's a liar and his dad has not been there for him. And that's why he's so strong on father absence, because he feels like his father was absent and basically the values that he is espousing are not authentic. Now, my first question that I will ask is the timing of this, question mark. We're just a couple of weeks away from the election, and I feel that Christian had a long runway where he could have said something about this.
Candace. How could you even say, without knowing the facts, that he could have said something so different? He could have tried to approach the situation any different. But I want y'all to pay attention, because here comes the Republican talk right here. Here it comes. It's coming.
Doing it a couple of weeks before, I guess I just have questions about that. I don't know what his thinking was or why he felt like now was the right time versus before, which I think people may have perceived to be more authentic had he had done it earlier and said, hey, I'm Christian Walker, because you're accusing your father of keeping secrets. But wouldn't this also be you keeping secrets by not telling people early on that you felt that he was a fraud?
There you have it. That's one of them, right? So now she calls him, saying that he should have came out and spoke, because now maybe he was being dishonest by not talking and mentioning it earlier, shifting the blame. So this is what they do, right? So Herschel wouldn't take responsibility after he promised his family that he would come out and tell all the dirty details of his past, so this way it wouldn't hurt him during this election. But he decided to cower and go into a little cave and deny, and lie, and then it multiplied to where it's like this big avalanche coming down on him. And now the Republicans have to backpedal for Herschel and try to make this smooth over, right? Where they think that people are gonna be, oh, he's human, people make mistakes. No, people make mistakes. Yes, we get that. No one's perfect. But this man's a liar, an outright liar. And he was willing to lie all the way to the Senate. And he will continue to lie, because that's who he is. That's who Herschel is. He was a horrible NFL teammate, if you ask anyone that played with him. Horrible. The man is a horrible person. But I digress. Let her continue.
Now, I get that family is complicated. It's not that easy to talk about your family members publicly, and perhaps Christian was working up the courage. But I actually have a very strong, sound opinion that family matters should remain family matters unless they impact the masses. And what I mean by that is there are some things that people do in private that should be brought to public. Obviously, there are no perfect figures that are running for Congress. Baltimore. In this circumstance, okay, if he was an absent father, is that going to, do you realistically believe, inform his policies when he gets into Congress? Yes, it would be really great if every person got on a stage and said what they meant. I bet a lot of people are, especially in the world of politics, probably not the best mothers and fathers and are probably absent a lot as they go back and forth, shuttle back and forth from DC to home.
So that's your excuse, Candace? That many people in politics are absentee mothers and fathers? See, the problem is that we're not talking about politics. We're talking about from when the kid is born. We're talking about when the child is born and there is a mother taking care of the child, and the father, which is Herschel Walker, is absent and only doing the minimum of what the courts are requiring him to do. which is pay his child support. And as Julia said, maybe 3 times in 10 years has he seen his child. So that is called absentee fatherism. He is an absentee father. He does not see his child. His child does not know who he is, other than probably on TV now, know that he bangs all sorts of women while he's, with his, wife and stepping out, or wanted to do that. But the reality is he's a deadbeat dad. Let's call it what it is. Let's not sugarcoat it. Y'all wouldn't sugarcoat it if it was a Democrat, right? So stop sugarcoating it and putting your little spice on it. Because you don't want to know your candidate sucks, and your candidate has no values, no family values, which is the conservative way. Again, I'm ranting. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the video.
But does that feel like more of a personal issue that you would hope would be resolved between Christian and his father? And I think that ultimately that is what I would have wanted, since Christian is saying that he cares a lot about family because of the absence of his father. It probably would have been a good thing to try to resolve that with your father, at least first, to try to come to some understanding. I'd like to see Herschel's response to this. Like I said, I'm giving you early thoughts here. I haven't gotten to the bottom of this situation. I want to see if there's something I'm missing, like he did try to speak to him and they had a massive fight, and Herschel is hiding even more that is going to impact, and he's secretly actually a leftist, and he's going to now put forth anti-family policies. I'd like to just hear a little bit more of the story, but at the moment, it feels a little personal for the public sphere, is what I would say. But keeping my eye on that story.
And, the sad thing is that this Republican Party is not the Republican Party of old. This Republican Party has no values. Zero values at all. And the problem is they don't care about the people. And if you think they care about the people, you got something coming. There's no conservative values. This is not the Republican Party that I'm sure a lot of you guys signed up for when you guys became Republicans. This is like Looney Tunes, cartoon. Every day there's a new story. Literally. Every day somebody's doing something crazy. If it ain't Matt Gaetz, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. If it ain't Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's Lauren Boebert. If it ain't Lauren Boebert, it's Herschel. I mean, I can go on and on. They all crazy. Even Tom Cotton is supposed to be standing behind Herschel Walker. You're a public figure, excuse me. And all your baggage is put out there. It's put out there for the world. So, Mr. Walker, I think that as much as you're trying to get this seat, I think you put the nail in the coffin. And on that note, I'm gonna say that's all, folks. That's the show.